Good evening, everyone. This is Coffee Spills the Tea, and my name is Coffee Brown. It has been a little while, and I'm going to show you why. This. I don't know if people recognize this, but we'll talk about this in a moment. So, again, this is Coffee Brown, and my channel is called Coffee Spills the Tea. So before I move on anymore, just remember to please subscribe to my channel and um, hit that notification button, the bell rather, to make sure you get all my notifications. And like this video, because the more everyone does all those things, the more the algorithms will push people who are like-minded towards this channel. What is this channel about? This channel is about black women like me. Does it mean that if you're not, then move on? No. I'm just saying that this is what I'm focusing on. It never hurts if people understand what's going on with us. Sometimes we might not understand what's going on with us, right? So it's good to have a place where you can go and just kind of talk about things that are weighing on you, weighing on me, weighing on us. So I know today has been a really nuts day. I feel like politics is just pushing us so fast, and there's so many things happening so quickly that it's scaring me, and it just makes me more motivated to get out sooner. Originally, I had planned on trying to get out like sometime in, say, I think I was going to do October or maybe early November. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to make it until then. I just feel very scared right now. I am just going to say I'm one of those people that just, I've never had like a kind of a career. I've floated from job to job. I've had some opportunities, but not very many. And I did have some money at a couple of points in my life. The first time I was very young, I squandered it. Second time, I was just, I put all my money into a business and then I lost my business. And I lost my business for a number of reasons. It was in the wrong neighborhood. Not a lot of support, not a lot of people like us in that neighborhood. I'll never do that again. I had put everything into it, everything that I had left in my life, and thought that it was going to do well, and it didn't. I lost everything. So, and I was trying to take care of my mom at the same time. She has a neurodegenerative disease that is getting progressively worse. I took care of her for 10 years. And when I lost the business, I also lost her because my brother had to step in. He had to take care of her. He tried it for about a year and a half, realized it was even too much. Now she's in a nursing home. Everyone's miserable. So it's a lot. It's a lot that was going on with me. Now I'm finding I don't have any savings. I don't have any money. I don't have any. I've been trying to start up a career in IT. You know that James Brown song? It's a man's world. I feel like it's that in IT, and not a world for people like us either. I mentioned it, I think, last week that I went through an interview, and it was just very demoralizing because at the end of the day, it was just big lead on, and they went with someone else. I had another interview. They were very helpful. That was last week, and I felt very hopeful. They gave me the information for the interview, They told me to go in order, and that they needed me to jump ahead. They would have me jump ahead to different parts. The presentation gets progressively more technical. So I'm going through the presentation. I'm thinking everything's going okay. And then we get to the end, and they were like, okay, we need you to go to this technical part that's very technical. And they're like, and in the last literally couple minutes, we want you to break down something that's very technical and how you would do it. And it just kind of caught me off guard, because I'm like, why would we wait till the very end of that literally, they're like, you have 2.5 minutes. And I'm trying to break it down for them, and I just lost a lot of ground. And at the end, they were just giving me feedback, and they're like, well, you weren't really technical. And I'm like, well, they specifically told me that if they wanted me to jump ahead, they would have me jump ahead. And so I'm expecting them, okay, if they want me to move ahead, just say, okay, jump to this part here, which would have been more technical. Anyways, then they just sent me a message and said that they were going to proceed with someone else. That's fine. I put my resume in with a recruiter, and the thing is that, yeah, if you want to move overseas, doesn't matter. The reason why I'm working so hard for that is either A, if you've retired and you can show that you have a passive income, then that's fine. Then you just have to meet the passive income requirements. If you are going to move overseas and you're going to continue to work, like what I'm going to be doing, then I have to show that I have a job. Like for me, it's going to be a digital nomad visa. So I have to show that I have a job with contracts, or showing like my contract showing what my rates are going to be, and what am I supposed to be making, et cetera, et cetera. So I am working very hard to secure contracts, because as an independent contractor, that's what it's all about, is just securing contracts. It's just really hard to secure contracts. And nowadays, with things are just being so uncertain since January 20th, like everything is up in the air, like everything. And the area of the country where I live, which is highly dependent on the government and federal employees, it just makes it extremely difficult to find work right now. And I'm finding that I'm in a little bit of a panic at this point, because I'm not quite sure what to do. So those are the things that I'm worried about right now, because I need to be able to set up those contracts to get out. And I actually did have a contract with Canadians. And so are they going to still do a contract with me? I don't know. I sent them a message normally, and the contract isn't until towards the end of the year. Hopefully things will have resolved itself by then. But normally they do get back in touch with me very quickly. I did not hear from them yet. Let me check and see. Just gonna check real quick, because yep, they've read the message but yet have not responded. So I don't know if that's going to come to something, because that contract alone would secure my income, that I meet the minimum income requirements for Italy. Without that contract, then I have to find something that's going to show that I meet minimum income requirements. Besides that, when I move to Italy, I do want to buy a house. And if I and I'm not saying I have no savings, I have a little bit of savings, like so little, like so little. But it's still enough for me to go to the southern part of Italy and buy a very small house, and something where it is habitable, where I can move in and just kind of just exist and just deal with whatever, I have to deal with electricity costs, which I understand are high, gas costs, which I understand is high, food prices, which I think I could keep under control, and internet, phone, Those are the 5 things that I have to focus on once I get out there. So I need to kind of like look at my whole, like build up some kind of expense sheet so I can see what I'm going to need to live on in order to get by. So all those things are things that you, if you are saying, hey, I would like to move overseas, because this is getting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, those are things that you need to think about. You have to think about how are you going to get an income. You have to think about closing things out, closing out everything in your life, because you can't just like say, okay, I'm just going to close the door to my house and walk out and just like get on a flight. There's a number of steps that you have to think about. I have 2 dogs. If I'm going to bring my 2 dogs, then they have to have a checkup, a special European like vaccination or health or European vaccinations, and they have to have this European checkups, whatever. And it has to be done no more than 10 days before the flight. So you have to go to the vet. You have to get a special veterinarian that has this European license to then do the checkup for your dogs, and then sign this certificate saying that the dogs are healthy, and then that goes to the USDA, which I don't even know if they're going to be around. And then they're supposed to flip that back to you real quick. You take that to the airport, you get onto your flight, and then when you get on the other side, you are going to bring it to like customs and immigration or whatever when you're passing through, so you can take a look at it, and then you keep that paperwork with you. And then I have to worry about how am I going to get the dogs over, because I could take one of the dogs and probably put it under my seat. That'd be my smaller dog. My other dog, which is a bigger dog, that dog will have to be in cargo. I do not want to do cargo. So what am I going to do? I'm going to have to fly an airline that, I'm going to have to fly Emirates. They're the only airline that I know of that has a special compartment for pets where they have the same simulated environment. So it's not like you put the dogs in cargo, and I don't care what they say, it's cold in cargo, and I don't trust cargo. It's but they have a special compartment where they keep the dogs that is the same temperature as the cabin and the same air pressure as the cabin, and they take really good care of your pets. And so if you have a stopover, they'll take the dog out, they'll feed the dogs, they walk the dog, they make sure everything is okay. Like Emirates is just like the way I have to do it. So, yeah. So that's something you have to think about as well. I believe for Italy, for one person can have 2 dogs, but I would check if you plan on going into Italy or wherever you're going. You want to find out what those travel allowances are. And why is it I can have 1 dog in a cabin? Because the size of the carrier has to be able to fit under the seat, and the weight of the carrier plus a dog cannot exceed, I believe it said like 20 kilos or something like that, or 22 kilos or something along 20. It's either 20 kilos or 20 pounds. I got to check. But either way, she meets the requirements. She can go under the seat. No big deal. And she'll just probably sleep the whole time because she'll just be happy that she's next to me. My other dog, he's probably going to have a fit. So I'll probably have some little melatonin tablets I'll give him, or chews that I'll give him, so that he can just kind of like be real chill and probably sleep for the majority of the flight. So yeah, you got to get that out of the way. If you own a home, you are so lucky, because if you can sell that home, the money you get from that, the proceeds when you move overseas, especially if you bought the home many, many years ago, and now you're selling it and you're getting a really nice profit, even if you have to pay capital gains tax, you'll be able to pretty much buy a lot of places in Europe. Like, so many places in Europe are so much cheaper than being here in the United States. And yes, there are cheaper places in the United States too, but who wants to move to Kentucky? Or Mississippi? Like, I don't know, like, maybe, and no offense, if you live there and you love it there, that's great. But for people who live in places where you're used to like more, you're used to maybe having, just being in a more. I'm just gonna have to say I hate being political, but a blue state, where they have a little bit more wealth, more money. Yes, taxes are higher, but the lifestyle is a little bit different. So just for those reasons, that's why I prefer where I live right now and where I have lived in the past. Um, I've always lived in states where they had a lot of wealth. So that's what I like. Okay, so done with the political thing for now. Um, but even then, if you live in a southern state and you sell a place, I'm sure you can get some money. You move overseas. It's nice if you have a house. I've never had a house because I never really had money. And when one time I did, I didn't know how to buy a house. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to deal with the income, so or deal with that money. So gone. Just bought stupid things that mean nothing, and they're probably like worth nothing these days, literally. Anyways, I digress. So if you have a house, you're gonna need to sell it. I mean, you can decide to keep it and rent it out, but then you're gonna be over there and then dealing with tenants and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's okay with you, then that's fine. Okay. So yeah, so you need an income base. You want to check and see, even if wherever you end up moving, if you're moving overseas, look at what the tax requirements are, because this is one of the few countries in the world where even if you move overseas, you still have to pay taxes. No matter where you are, you have to pay taxes. So if you have to pay taxes in the country where you're going and you're paying taxes to the United States, it's like double taxation. So you want to think about that. Um, Digital nomad visas in like places like Portugal, Spain, Italy, UK, uh, Greece, wherever they have digital visas, they're a little bit better to deal with if you like. They have certain requirements. You meet those requirements, and you can either pay much less taxes, or if you're paying the tax, they'll give you like a credit on, like, you can do it as a write-off. If you have to pay the tax in one country, then you come back to the United States, you do your taxes in the United States, you can use it as a write-off. Now, doesn't you got to check with your own country, or with the country that you're going to, and then you gotta check with like an accountant, someone that knows like international laws. So know what those are, and see how you can take advantage of that or make it work in your favor. So you have to be able to set that up. If you have kids, and some people are like, I can't move because of the kids. I just keep hearing story after story about people moving abroad, taking their children with them, and their children having better lifestyles, having a better chance for education, learning another language. Like, man, if I could have learned a second language when I was in when I was younger, oh man, I would have been so happy now. But yeah, so you wanna think about that. No, you wanna make sure that you check into schools. Maybe take a trip out there and see what kind of schools they have, language immersion programs they have. Kids can learn a language a lot quicker, a lot more easily the younger they are. Um, yeah, and the sooner they get out there and the more time you spend out there, if you decide you want to go for citizenship and you just don't want to get permanent residency, then everybody's out there. You just get that second passport. Um, yeah, so you want to think about things like that. Like sometimes I do wonder if what's going to happen with my family if I move out. My mom. Well, originally my mom, I think I've mentioned, She was going to come with me, and then she kind of got scared. She doesn't want to go. But we made a deal. When it comes to Medicare, that's her concern, is that if you are gone for more than 6 months, it's like 6 months and a day, then you are not able to get your Medicare anymore. At that point, if you have a secondary insurance, like in her secondary insurance is Blue Cross Blue Shield, then Blue Cross Blue Shield will pick up that insurance and they will pay for things. But it will have to be as a reimbursement. So that means that then she would have to pay for all her medical needs. And then, like every month, she'd have to submit a bill or an invoice or submit all of her receipts to Medicare, and then Medicare would pay her back. Not Medicare, sorry. Blue Cross Blue Shield would pay her back. She'd submit to Blue Cross Blue Shield would pay her back. She did not like that after a while when she's thinking about it. So we said, hey, you know what? Why don't you just come see me 5 months out of the year? And she likes that idea. So that's the compromise. So 5 months out of the year, she'll come live with me, and then she'll go back home. And she'll be able to keep her nursing home. And I think that's good for her because she's just kind of really bored out of her skull staying in that nursing home. But yeah, I thought about my other family members, but I'm pretty sure that if I moved out there, they would probably just come visit. I have a friend who just had a baby, and I was just like, we're going to be like under the Tuscan sun. And I was kidding, and she's like, yeah, we seriously going to be like under the Tuscan sun. I'm bringing my baby there. She's bringing her baby. Maybe, we'll see. If you're watching, let me know. I'm happy to have you. Definitely happy to have visitors coming through. Yeah, so you have to think about that. You have to think about where you're gonna live, like as far as if you're gonna go to Italy like me. Am I gonna live in the north? No, I don't want to live any place with snow. Done with snow. I want to live in the south. South is cheaper. South doesn't have snow. South is warmer. Yeah. So if I can move someplace way south, and here's a funny thing. I met this guy who's thinking about hiring me. He was an Italian guy. It was an Italian company. And he was asking about my salary, and I was giving him like the lowest salary I could possibly give him, and he was shocked. And he was like, oh, we just don't make that. I said, well, what do you guys, like literally as a team of guys, what do you guys make? And he said, yeah, we make about $24,000 a year. And like, he's living good. He's living good on $24,000 a year. I was just like, whoa, like that'd be poverty out here. It was kind of interesting to have that conversation with him and realize like how much lower the cost of living is when you move overseas. I mean, like Europe, yes, but even like people I've met that I talk to that are living for like, paying like a couple $100 a month to like live in, say, Thailand, or they've got $1,000 and they're like making it last for like 6 months in Europe, or in Southeast Asia someplace. And I'm just shaking my head like, I understand that this country, United States, is a great country, but I feel like we struggle so much. And as I always say, the struggle is real, all right? It's real. And I'm thinking, if it's such a great place, why is it such a struggle just to be, just to be? I don't know how else to explain. I just feel like everything's a struggle. And I can see it in my body. Now, granted, it's cold again, so I'm back to wearing my Snuggie. But I can see it in my body. Like, everything is stress. Like, my whole body is under stress right now. And as much as I'd like to try to pull myself together, it's just everything is a stress. Everything's a struggle. Like, I just, ugh. Okay. So, you know, these are the first few things that I'm thinking of that I'm trying to put together. And once I put those things together, then yeah, I'm going to continue to share with you. I did make my appointment with the consulate for mid-March, so I will be there in mid-March. I will have a contract in mid-March. I will have my passport in mid-March with an additional uh, passport photo in mid-March with a contract showing what I make in mid-March with my last tax statements since probably, just to be on the safe side, since 2020. I'll just have 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and I'm going to do 2024 before I go, even though I'm not going to file it right away, but I want to have it ready to go, like just to have the estimate ready to go. Bring that all down and just say, okay, like, let's do this. But that's coming down the road, and there'll be separate things that another thing that we'll be talking about. Let's go back to this. What is this? Let's just get this real close so you can see. This was my lock for my locker, right? So, for my storage, rather. So you just kind of pop it in. I had a key, turn the key, and then everything was in this 10-foot by 30-foot storage. And so the reason why I didn't have a YouTube video last Thursday, because I said every Monday and Thursday, was because on Thursday I was just out there just getting my storage ready to go, and then getting back for a few hours of sleep so that Friday I can have everything moved. So I rented a truck, and a very kind woman was so kind and so nice to pay for my truck, because she knew that I was really kind of struggling to like pull money together, and I was trying to sell things and in my storage, and a couple people came out to my storage and bought some things that they got crazy stupid deals on. New things. I just have so many new things. And I wanted to have everything closed up so that when the guys came and moved my stuff, then it was just going to be quick. And it wouldn't have been as long as it took, which was 4 hours total. But it was raining that day as well. And that was just a mess. And I felt so bad. So I ended up paying them a little bit more than I thought, but I still had it in my budget to pay the guys the extra little bit of money, because it was all in the rain. So I have a little video and some pictures I took, and so I'll make another video and I'll just kind of string it together and just kind of put my thoughts on that. That silver purse, I want to say maybe it's vintage by now. It's a Coach purse, but I found purses in there that were like that. I'd never used that purse before. I had another cream Coach purse that was just cream colored, beautiful purse with the C's on it and everything, and I gave it to my nephew's wife because I wanted her to have it. And I have actually given away a couple Coach bags, but I kept that one, which I said, hey, you know what? I'll sell it. And then I have another Coach bag that's one of those old school Coach bags, like the black Coach briefcase that was like the big like status symbol back in the day. And I had like the cleaning supplies to clean the bag, and it's supposed to be good for life. So if anything ever happens and I need to like have things replaced, you could just bring it to any Coach place and they'll be able to like fix it, and they fix it for free. So I've got my Coach bag, my Coach bags, but I found other things, jewelry, whatever. I mentioned this before. I tried very hard to sell things, but most people didn't want to buy or they didn't want to make the trip, or it was just really fast and people were not going to have the time to think about it. And I couldn't bring it all into my house because I'm like, I have no room in my house. So we have bulk trash, and unfortunately, a lot of that went to the landfill. I did take a picture of it. But I also donated a lot of my clothes, which sadly, a lot of them, I would say at least 60% of the clothes still had tags on them. 40% of them were in really excellent condition. I would wear maybe once or twice. And then things that I would wear on a regular basis, I either tossed or I brought it home because I wanted to have those clothes at some point or another. So, so I've got a lot of stuff back here. You can see these bins. I have bins all going down and everything. And here's what I'm thinking is I have these shelving units here that were from my storage. And I was talking to this woman, and she was like, she's from my neighborhood, and she was like, oh, I should come over and just shop at your place. And I was like, you should. So she's already called for a couple things that she wanted. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, at some point very soon, just take things out of bins and just put them on the shelves, like a store. And then I'm just going to call out to the neighborhood and just say, look, on weekends, on Saturdays between this time and this time, and on Sunday between this time and this time, I'm just going to come on in and just shop. It's just like going to like Salvation Army or something. Coffee Brown's Army. And people can just shop for whatever. Because besides all of this, I found that I also have a lot of cleaning supplies. I was just on a cleaning supply scavenger hunt for the entire COVID. And every time I bought something, I would put it like in my, at the time it was in the basement. And then like once I moved to this place, everything went into storage. I have 2 huge contractor bags filled with cleaning supplies that I have never used. I couldn't even lift him. I just couldn't. It took, I did lift them, but it took quite a bit of effort. And I was just like, okay, what I'm going to do is just at some point, once I have a few things filled or just emptied out here and I've got space, I'm going to take all of the cleaning supplies and just put them out. And I'm going to sell it like at a store, just like I'm at a store. I am confident that I've got $600 or $700 worth of cleaning supplies. I just never thought about it. But you're also talking with someone who had hundreds and hundreds of rolls of toilet paper. Just many, many rolls of paper towels. I was just buying every time I saw something, and not just any kind of cleaning supplies. It was like Lysol, Clorox, like things that could kill, for real. That could kill, like, not kill. Let's say things that would deeply disinfect and MRSA, COVID, the flu, like that's what it said, viruses and flus. So if it said it killed that, then I got it. And then I would bring it home and I would put it on my shelves. And at some point I must have went a little bit crazy, and because I have so much of it. Like I said, 2 huge contractor bags full of stuff, and then I have boxes of things that I purchased that I put in boxes, and they're just all like piled up, like stacked up over there. So I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to sell everything. I have all of my Halloween stuff still to sell. I'm just going to start slowly emptying this place out. And because I've had some people already ask about that. And I'm like, it's February. You're already asking about my Halloween stuff? Okay. I may wait till it's closer to the time that I leave because it'll be worth more as people are thinking about Halloween stuff. However, with tariffs, you never know. The price of everything's about to go up, and the price of Halloween stuff will probably go up as well. So the longer I wait on this stuff, probably the better off. The more I'll probably end up getting for things. Like the less people will be wanting to negotiate because I mean, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's $20 now and it used to be 10, so I'm gonna charge 18. I'll just charge 10. No biggie. But yeah, so I'm gonna take all of that. I'm just gonna take those shelving units, and I'm just gonna like start take everything out of these bins, and I'm just gonna start putting them up. And even the bins, like I confidently could say that I've got about 60 to 70 bins in this house. I will have to pack up some of those bins so I can put things on. I'm gonna have things shipped. So I might keep like maybe 20 bins. But again, I really feel like I have like more like 60 bins, maybe more. I'm pretty sure I have more than that. I'll sell the rest. I'll sell them for like $6-7 each. And I'll get rid of the bins as well. But the whole idea is just to downsize as much as I can. I mean, I took things with me that I was like, oh, I want to take that. I want to take that with me. I want to take that with me. I want to take that with me. And there are things I do want to take with me, like my TiVo. I know it's been a while, but I like my TiVo. Take my Amazon Fire, little whatever that Fire thing is. I don't even know what it's called anymore. I'm gonna take that with me. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I have thought about taking all my Buffy the Vampire Slayer books and stuff, but somebody said it was a collector's item. So somebody out there probably likes all that, like all the cartoon books that came out after Buffy and Angel went off the air, and I have like all of these books. So, it's just like, okay, there's got to be somebody out there that wants that stuff. I have like a crap load of CDs and things. And yes, I know most people are doing MP3, but I plan on buying a CD player when I'm there, and that is going to be my downtime because I just want to just have a very quiet lifestyle once I move. Just work and then just have a very quiet lifestyle. It'd be like Rihanna. Oh, I can't sing because if I try to sing it, then it might be copyrighted. But the Rihanna song about work, 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 work. Yeah. So I'm gonna be doing that, and then I want to rest as much as I can. Okay. And I decided I'm gonna take all the dog stuff with me. Like, they love all their dog beds and whatever, and I can't deprive them of their dog beds and whatever. Like one of my dogs just loves his dog stuff. Has everything all like piled in a corner. He likes to put things around the house, and then he likes to hide things and then go for them, go for it at some point and stuff like that. So yeah. So, and then I've got to get one of my dogs to get special dog food. I'm pretty sure that's probably better to buy it here, and then just put everything, like just buy like maybe like 8 or 9 of those big like dog food bags, and then put them in the bins, and then close those bins up, and he'll be set for 3 or 4 years at least. And then I could just have people bring stuff out when I need to. But that it's special dog food. That's for him because he's got a special diet. I know it's going to cost a fortune over there. So better for me to just bring as much as I can, and then yeah. And it requires a prescription as well. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I've been working on. That's what I have been working on. I actually do have a job kind of interview tomorrow on Tuesday. So I have to pretty much wrap this up. But it's just kind of nuts because they gave me like 220 slides, and they're like, we want you to go through them and then be ready to go through a day of training on them. So that in itself is going to be stressful because I am not ready for that at all. but I will do the best I can. And so I'm on slide 156 of 220. I'm hoping I can get to at least get another 10 slides in. And then I got to get to bed because I want to get up at 5 and then be able to get the dogs walked and everything, come back and then maybe get another 5 slides in. And if I can get to 170 slides or whatever, I'm just going to explain to them that I am still going through the slides. But it means that I will not be getting a class as quickly as I thought. And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. What can I do? There's a lot there's a lot of moving parts to this, which is why I'm going through a full day of training. The good news is that this company that is hiring me, it's supposed to be in person, but they said they had a lot of remote, for now. I don't know how things are going to change with them because of the fact that so many of the people they trained are contractors or are federal workers, and I just don't know how their jobs are going to be like dealing with training. I mean, like, I just don't know. So, but if they do hire me, I have a contract, and what I would want for them to tell me is roughly like how many of these. I need like a rough estimate, based on how I do for the training. Let's go through maybe a couple of maybe two or three rounds of me teaching, because that's what I do. I teach. If they like me, roughly how many do they think I would be getting? And is it possible they can not put it in writing as far as like a contract, but I need to be able to structure out like what are my finances going to look like? Give me an idea of how many courses I'm going to be able to get. And then I will take that contract to the embassy and then just say, okay, well, I'm an independent contractor. It says at will. This is how many courses I'm going to be teaching per month for them. My hope is that if they're giving me their 2-day courses, if they start off by giving me like a 2-day course, like once a week, one 2-day course a week for the first month, and then after that, maybe 2-day courses per week, per month. Then hopefully within 6 months, then I've got enough money to actually get out there, buy a house, have myself comfortable, have a little bit of finances set aside, and figure out what my next step is going to be. Okay, so yes, I need to start preparing or continue preparing for this job interview. But in the meantime, I did want to report back and just let everybody know that this is no longer going to be a problem for me. $393 a month. So I will advise you that if you do get storage, if you have it in there for more than a year and you are not going there on a regular basis, do you need it? I put thousands into that storage. That was enough to buy a house in Italy if I had not done that. About 3 years and 2 months. 3 years and 2 months. So, I mean, I put in, I don't know, just thousands. It's not worth it. Wasn't worth it. Just makes me feel kind of sad. Because I could have put that money into like a mutual fund or interest-bearing savings account or, like anything. Live and learn. All right. So, on that note, I'm going to kind of end it. And I'm just going to give everybody a hug and just say, hey, I know times are hard right now and things are about to get nuts again, because it's like, week 3? And it's just, the crazy doesn't end. And it just seems like it's getting worse and worse and worse. So what you want to do is just keep calm and try to find a happy place here. And hug your family members and try to come up with a plan. Come up with a plan for yourself. If you're going to stay here, that's fine. Come up with a plan that's going to help you to find some kind of peace. And if you're going to leave like me, and that is your peace, that will be your peace, then let's keep supporting each other and figuring out how we can get to where we have peace. Okay. So again, this is Coffee Spills the Tea. I am Coffee Brown, and I will ask for you again to please subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification button below, the bell, the little bell there. You can hit that bell and then notifications all. And like this video so I can get my analytics up for the YouTube AI so that they can find more people and we can just grow this community. And at some point, hopefully we can start going live and just talk to each other and maybe support each other in a more real-time manner. And then, if you have friends that are like us, whatever, feel free to share this video. Or not share this video, but share this channel. Share this YouTube channel with your friends. And let's just try to grow this community. All right. All of you have a great evening. Or if it is tomorrow, or the next day, or the next year, whenever you see it, just have a great day or evening wherever you're at. All right. I will see you on Thursday. Hopefully with some more good news on my front. And if you have a comment on things that you'd like to hear about, questions, or if you have any kind of input, please put it in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear maybe if there's something I can do to help you. If you're thinking about something and you're not quite sure how to do it, how to go about it, how to start it, let me know. All right. Over and out, and have a good evening, everybody. Bye.